Did My Hero Academia fall off? Now, when I say fall off, I am not talking about in terms of numbers or sales, because the series is still doing quite well. There hasn't really been a large decline of viewership, and as far as the manga goes, it's still selling fairly well, almost pretty much like one of the top 10. But in terms of viewer reception, things have been pretty bleak the past 2 seasons, which is very strange considering how much hype was amassed around season 4 and season 3. Where we are in now, it's a totally different headspace as far as the audience goes. But why? I wanted to discuss some things that I believe are wrong, or some people are fed up with the current state of My Hero Academia. And I was very curious to see what you guys thought about it as well. So please let me know. Do you guys think that My Hero fell off in any shape, way, or form, or people just kind of overreact? I know for one, myself, the animation consistency isn't always there. And some of these bigger moments get overshadowed by these really weird slideshow presentations. Now, I have to be lenient in some fashion because I understand that these animators have just a little bit over a year to pump out a 26 episode season, and so it can get kind of hard, and it's not kinda, it is very hard and very difficult to pump out that much content in such a short amount of time, which is why you have animators like Yutaka Nakamura who are more freelance, and they kind of just go on their own schedule, and companies love hiring them because they do so much great work. And it's very obvious when there's a freelance animator on it because the animation quality just goes up so much. Like one of the big things, one of the big fights this season was Deku versus Shigaraki. And honestly, when I watched it, I was a little disappointed. Not actually a little, I was actually pretty disappointed from what I saw. The censorship already has me feeling a certain type of way about My Hero Academia as it is. And that can't really be faulted by the animators. They're just working with what they're given. I believe it's the time in which it airs, as opposed to something like Attack on Titan or like Demon Slayer, but I believe they air later in Japan, so they're kind of free to do whatever they want. It's like the same thing with Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Super. Like you look at Dragon Ball Z and there was blood, yes, but like not like a ton of gore as some people were making it out to be. And then you look at Dragon Ball Super and it's like Vegeta dripped a couple drops of blood when he was fighting Goku Black, and people were freaking out. But anyway, as far as this Deku versus Shigaraki fight goes, there was a lot that just really left me to be desired, like the Winchester smash or whatever that Deku did just looked very odd. I don't know, it just looked very underwhelming. Obviously everybody was making a meme of, Shigaraki scratching or trying to, scratch Aizawa's eyes out, and it just looks so goofy as compared to how horrific it looked in the manga. Like it was, dude, like Hirokoshi's art is phenomenal. It's stunning, and I understand that it's very hard to animate that on a consistent basis, but they've done it before, like with the Deku versus Muscular fight, All Might versus All For One, all this. It's just really weird where this decline came. Again, we know that My Villain Academia suffered last season because they had a movie out at the same time, so some of the animation wasn't as where it should have been there. And also, it's just a tonal thing. People have talked this to death, but the fact that we are having this quote-unquote war and we don't see the environment, like it's more of a barren wasteland, but it's never like dire, like there's no mood changes or anything like that. Someone actually made a very good video. I'll actually see if I can link them, if I can find them. But someone made a video like rearranging certain things in Shigaraki's attack on Aizawa, and it looks way better. Like the sky is red, Shigaraki has like a darker face. It looks pretty good for the tone he was trying to set, as opposed to the anime, and it just this bright blue sky. It's just not a lot of blood and gore, which I get. Gore and blood is not required, but it just looks very odd. Now, I'm not saying this current season doesn't have some pretty fire moments, because it has some pretty good moments. Mirko had a lot of good stuff. I will say Lady Nagant versus Deku, they did a phenomenal job on that. That was probably the highlight of the season. probably the past couple seasons for myself personally. They did an amazing job on that, displaying just how fast and how quick Midoriya can think on his feet. Beautiful. I think also another reason that a lot of people are just kind of done with My Hero Academia is it's throwing all these tropes that we've seen before at us, and the shonen genre is already oversaturated as it is. But when we start seeing like, oh, the main villain, is he really a bad guy? No, he just needs help. Or, oh, the protagonist was powerless. Oh, but now he's the strongest character there. Like, we've seen some of this stuff before, man. And so if people would, you know, again, Midoriya being the last wielder, supposedly, of, you know, One for All, it's cool, but we know he's not gonna die at any point because, you know, he narrates the story. Also, Midoriya just being obscenely stronger than everyone else in his class is a little ridiculous. It's not bad. It's just like ludicrous how much stronger he is than them. Like if he was actually trying to hurt them, like he could just do it and they wouldn't be able to do anything to him. I mean, Naruto is a similar situation, but at least he has Sasuke, but you know what I mean. Also, just the amount of characters that we have that I'm supposed to care about that I just don't is astronomical. I always talk about really large ensembles and how, you know, Naruto had a pretty decent attempt at it. But man, I can't even remember the tornado guy, the invisible girl, and I don't even know. They just don't even show up in the war arc. Like, you're willing to take all the students from class 1A, but literally no one else. Like, it's so odd to me why they weren't there. And I know that they're in the latest manga chapter, spoilers, I guess, but it's just, I don't know. I feel like this Hirokoshi didn't know what to do with him at that point. Or he forgot, I don't know. You take that as opposed to something like Naruto, where you have Shikamaru, Neji, Kiba, and Choji all go try to find Sasuke at the end of part 1, and everyone, it feels dire, and there's some pretty good fights in there. I mean, Shikamaru's fight with homegirl with the windpipe, you know what I mean. I don't remember her name. One of the sound 4. But that was tight. That's actually one of my favorite fights in part 1. Neji's fight was okay. I mean, he got trick-shotted on, but you know. I would say that my favorite season of My Hero Academia is season 4, because it has my favorite fight in the series. I love Kirishima's fight against, what is his name? The Goku, what is it? Rappa, I'm sorry. Kirishima's fight versus Rappa is easily my favorite fight in the series. Maybe besides Deku versus Muscular, the first one. But oh man, that fight is absolutely crazy. Now, Overhaul versus Deku was amazing as well. The music and the animation and all that, you know, the stakes were high. Overhaul was a crazy good villain, but man, there's just something about this my favorite character having his shining moment. Oh man, it did something to him. And I look and it's like, we really didn't have that. I mean, like, Hiroshima kind of did something when he, you know, got the vial in Gigantomania, whatever his name is, dude, you know what I mean. Whenever he got the, you know, the solution to Gigantomania's mouth, like, that was a cool moment, I guess. But like, I don't know, just some of these moments aren't sticking for me. Like Midnight's death, I didn't really care. Say if that were, I don't know, Present Mike, I feel like that would hit way harder, but I just didn't care about Midnight like that. She was just fan service to me. It was whatever, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm sure that when the anime reveals its final season, probably 2 seasons from now, maybe, that some people will think about it differently, but we'll see, man. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, man. How do you guys feel about My Hero Academia, man? Do you feel it's fallen off? Do you feel like My Hero Academia has a little bit of potential that it can squeeze out? Do you feel that it hasn't fallen off? People just being overdramatic? Let me know. I remember when I first heard about My Hero Academia, when it was airing its 2nd season, it just had this presentation that it was coming across something new, a new brand of superheroes integrated into society. It had all the bright colors, these bombastic personalities from these heroes, but it still took itself seriously, and it did play on some of these tropes that weren't exactly original, but it did have some heart into them, and that was really, really good. It was really, really powerful at first, and then we just started seeing a lot of things that we just don't care about. We're throwing in a lot of stuff that we're supposed to just like absorb. And also, by the way, I know it's called My Hero Academia, but I go to sleep every single time we have something sports related having at the school, whether it's the provisional license exam or I don't even know. Just any test makes me want to go to sleep. I hate those arcs so much because they're so boring. Anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think about My Hero Academia, man. But it's been your boy, Danford, guys, and I will see you in the next video. All right, have a good one. Peace.